Yo, what is poppin', everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Content Corner. My name, but yo, don't laugh. Don't laugh.
No, I'm not laughing at that.
I'm laughing.
I've seen the bar go over both of our names.
Yeah. What was the solution there? What were we gonna do?
Oh, that's actually kind of epic. That's actually a good
That's the
solution.
best thing you could have done.
That's
I'm
perfect.
Lori D. Bunnykins, and welcome to Content Corner, where we talk about all the speedrunning content that you want us to talk about, or not want us to talk about.
Yeah, pretty much.
You have no say in the matter.
I know exactly what no one wants to talk about right now.
Oh, I'd love to talk about it, actually.
Celeste? Me neither.
Oh, look, there's a request from the chat. Someone want to read that one out?
No.
Shut up.
All right, I just wanna point out one thing to give context of what we were talking about earlier. This is a special episode because we're having to start 2 hours late. So shoutouts to the Europeans back and Oddbod who are like slaving away right now, thriving at midnight time or 11 p.m.
Which 11 p.m. We're chilling.
Yes, because right now, actually, Flare Bear and Chocolate Orange are in the same room. That's why they have a really big bar. They're on the same mic.
They can slap each other.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yo, when are we getting a group picture? Better be one.
It'll be in the Celeste fans.
Excuse
Okay.
me?
Sounds
In the
good.
Celeste fans Discord.
Celeste fans. Yeah.
Oh, right,
I'll
yeah.
I'll drop it in the
Cool
SMO
friends.
Discord.
Nice. I see where you went with that.
Wait, what's SMO?
I don't
Oh
know.
my god.
Okay. We can talk about that later, but for right now, I was absent last week, but I'm pretty regular for the podcast, and we have a lot of returning faces, as you can see. But there's one new guy, and he's looking like a Kappa
no.
and a Meat Boy. That's a really your profile picture is really funny. I think it was when I was talking to Lev, because Lev was making the. Also, by the way, shouts to Lev. He makes all the graphics. He's made all the graphics, and he helps with running the Twitter. By the way, has someone tweeted out that we're live? Oh gosh, that might be my responsibility. Hold
What
on.
the fuck? Are
Anyways, yeah, what the heck, Oddbod? Oh my god.
What?
Anyways,
Bruh.
we were looking for a profile picture for back, and your Discord profile picture is literally like the default. And then like we went to your Twitter, and it's like this shit posty like Meat Boy Kappa conglomeration. I don't even know a good word to put it, but yeah, it's good to have you here, dude. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. It's a little bit late, but otherwise I'm doing fine.
Nice.
The funniest thing isn't like the Discord thing literally not the standard Discord thing. Then you like remake it or some
Yeah.
shit.
I remade it with like the chat color in the background, and it's slightly off center because my Photoshop skills are atrocious. But yeah, it's similar to the picture you mentioned that you put up on the screen. It's like I never really cared about having a decent social media presence. So this is like a random picture I made like 7 years ago, just for my Twitch channel, so I didn't have the default.
Understandable.
The default Twitch one is good though, especially when it was like
It used to not be.
It was no, well before it was like the lightning bolt, and now it's just like the little like silhouette.
Mm.
Oh yeah, I liked when it was like the little guys, and you could pick one of them.
The guy.
Isn't that one of this one? No,
I don't know.
I thought it is.
I
Right
don't
now
know.
it's like silhouettes with different colors. It was way better before when it was just like the black background with the lightning bolt. Dude,
Huh.
freaking Nango like marketed that profile picture into his actual one.
So
Anyways.
speedrunning, we do that.
Well, I wanted to ask. I want to get back on back really quick. So I wanted to ask the token question. I at least ask everyone. I wasn't here last week, so I don't know what the fuck you guys did. I need to rewatch that. But back, how did you find this friend group and or Celeste?
God, it's actually not that interesting. Like I've been speedrunning for like almost, I guess it's around 7 years now.
Sweaty
So I've been
tryhard, I
familiar-
see.
I've been familiar with speedrunning just for years, and I've always been a big fan of like platformers, indie platformers, 2D platformers. So it was kind of a coincidence that I found Oddbot over here because I was speedrunning the new game from Edmund Macmillan at the time, which was The End Is Nigh, and he was running that too. And so I found his channel, and he was someday talking about this new game, Celeste. And when it came out, he started playing it, started running it, and I started watching it, and eventually picked it up myself and did a couple runs. But it wasn't quite for me, so I never got that deep into it. But yeah, I'm still around talking to the Celeste community in general, and happy to be here.
You know, that's really funny because that story suggests that you're Oddbod's #1 fan, but that's not true because I'm Oddbod's #1 fan.
All right,
So-
indeed.
I just want to make sure you know your place.
Yeah,
am not a fan of
fine. It's
Oddbot.
fine.
Listen, you gotta if you're gonna make that claim, you gotta bring out like the viewership statistics and stuff like that. You know.
How's Sushi
I
gonna
wanna see
claim?
some
Yo,
objective
how
proof.
much money do you have right now, Sushi?
How much money? Oh god.
I think I'm almost at 60K.
Whoa, are you stockpiling shmoney?
Yeah, where's Borealis? He probably has
I
the
only
most.
have 1.3k.
Yeah,
Wow.
I got robbed like 10K when I tried to unmod Babai, but you took it off.
Borealis, how much money do you have? We need to get to the bottom of this. For the record, I have infinite money, so
That's true.
clearly I'm
Your own
Oddbot's
biggest
biggest
fan.
fan.
Shmoney is Oddbod's channel point currency, by the way.
So
For
while
anyone
we deal
unaware.
with the whole shmoney thing, Sushi, you mentioned you weren't here last week because you were busy in France.
Yeah, I went to France. Oh my gosh. Let me tell you, okay? Once in a lifetime kind of experience. I have a trophy in my room for speedrunning. And on the plaque it has written on it, speedrun is 2 words. This is surreal.
What?
This is incredible. Yeah.
It's 2 words?
It's okay, like the actual trophy itself, the diagram, like technically speedrun is 2 words, but it looks cool from a graphic design standpoint. But like on the plaque it says Barriere Speed Space Run Show. Portal 1.
Oh, no.
It also says Portal 1. It doesn't say
When I
Portal, it
saw-
says Portal 1.
When I saw the trophies, I was like, damn, this is esports. Like, when has anyone ever won a trophy in speedrunning?
Yeah.
But no, you didn't. You didn't win a trophy in speedrunning. You won a trophy in speed running.
I was gonna say,
All the value is lost.
so, like, when we first got onto the venue, like, on the day before, we were able to practice on the computers and make sure all our hardware worked and, like, whatever. And, like, we tried everything out and we got on the stage and we're like, damn, like, this is really good, like, production quality. And then, like, the next day, they brought out the fucking trophies. They brought out the pyrotechnics. They had, like, cards that had Barriere Speedrun Show written on the back and they wrote notes on them. And I'm like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah, they really treated you like TV or movie stars
Yeah,
over there. it
no,
seems.
actually, they did. Like,
And also, I was most surprised with the amount of people in the crowd for like a speedrunning event.
That's
yeah.
what I was gonna say. Like, I'm surprised that they marketed that event so well because, like,
Yeah.
it was so packed. And then I saw like the upper floor, and I was like, dude, this is like so many people, and like, there's no way that like all of these people came here because they're like active like speedrunning community members, right? They
No,
must have
yeah.
like been able
Yeah.
to sell it out to their local scene really well somehow, which is impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's because a big part of it is that the 2 people, like Link and Hugo, they're established influencers, so I think that helps a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, just to show the audience, when time ends in Portal, when you defeat GLaDOS, which is defined as when your crosshair disappears, because after that happens, it's just you're just waiting until the ending cutscene starts. But obviously I had a gentleman's agreement with the other runner that, like, okay, once you complete the game, like, we're gonna use glitches and go to the cake room. They didn't stop the timer until I got to the cake room, so which was like 30 seconds after the actual time started. So it was like I wanted to pop off, but the crowd was really silent. The crowd was like, "Oh, he can still win." He could, like, it was awkward, but but yeah, to like, okay, so to put in like context, like the whole experience of going to France, like, honestly, this is gonna be like once in a lifetime. Like, this is gonna be something when I'm like 70 years old and like I have grandchildren, if I somehow like have children in the first place. Like, I will be telling my grandchildren will be playing like the newest fucking Mario game, and I'll be like, back in my day, I went to France and played video games, and I have this dope ass trophy to prove for it. Like, I'll be like, my kids will think like, "Damn, Grandpa, you're such a fucking nerd." Like, holy
when you're
crap.
70 years old and Portal 3 comes out, you'll tell them of your Portal 1 exploits.
Exactly. But no, it's like the whole experience was like, we got our travel paid for, so that includes we got planes, international flights, and train rides.
Was it business class though?
It was economy class.
Oh.
I got god tier flight luck though. I'll say it again. First flight I had extra legroom and window seat. Second flight I had extra legroom, window seat, and the person next to me wasn't on the flight. Like,
Well, what were the
shit.
planes? Did you get a 787 by any chance?
I don't know. They were big planes. I think it was 737, but I'm probably pulling that number out of my ass. Yeah. But
That's still god tier RNG.
it is god tier RNG. And when we got there, the hotel was all paid for us for 2 nights. Really nice hotel. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the video of the double door closet, like that shit.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Oh my god. I didn't know how to work the shower, dude.
Did you gamble?
I did not gamble.
Dude,
4,000 on Reds. Let's go.
You gambled at pace. You gambled at pace,
I
but
did
you didn't
gamble,
gamble
I
in
know.
France. After you won 4,000 euros.
I think the biggest thing was that we were all joking about it, but I think we were all super tired after the show.
Yeah.
And was
Makes sense.
probably the
Yeah, I wanted to interject here to read out Revo's question over here because like I was wondering the same thing because in pictures Marlon looks really attractive. I don't know if that's the same that gets conveyed in person, but I just wanted an in-person perspective from you, Sushi.
Marlon is pretty
Oh,
cute.
hitting
Asking for a
questions, man.
friend?
Well, the first thing was the first time meeting Marlon. Like, I probably got to the hotel like noontime the day before, and I think I sent DMs to like Illumina and Marlon, and I'm like, "Yo, I'm at the hotel. Like, send me a DM when you're close, cause I want to see you, dude. Like, I'm gonna go pass out now because I've gotten like 3 hours of sleep in the last 40 hours. Peace." And I think Marlon messaged me at like 5 p.m. and was like, "Yo, I'm here, waiting." So first of all, the funny story is that we're all trying to go to the theater because that's where the PCs are. There were no other PCs to practice on except the actual onstage PCs, which I mean, like, I'm not surprised because the PCs they had there were really good. But the theater was roped off, and we didn't know, like, since we were runners, we were allowed to like just go up there anyways, but we didn't know there, so it was like me, Marlon, and I think TGH and Lil Aggie were there, and we were just like fucking standing in front of the theater. Not even the theater, like the stairs to get up to the theater, and we were like, "Can we go?" And like we messaged someone in the Discord, and some guy who like looked so pissed off just like came down the stairs and just fucking lifted up the rope and just said, "Come, like you guys can go." And
I mean, how are you supposed to know?
okay. Another thing about meeting Marlon is that when I first met Marlon, like obviously Marlon is a bro. Okay, so I go up to him and I give him a massive fucking hug, right? He was traveling with his girlfriend, who first of all I didn't actually like talk to her, like one-on-one, obviously, but obviously Marlon traveling with.
Why, obviously?
Because
Because
why am I?
Matt doesn't talk
Why
to
the
girls.
fuck am I gonna be alone with her at any point? Like, I mean, I guess like sure I can talk like in the public, but I guess like I'm gonna be talking about like I'm gonna be talking with Illumina about how fuck the music choice was, and not like I don't know. I didn't have anything like. I didn't know much about her, so I didn't care. And plus, it's Marlon's girlfriend. My hands are off. And that goes into what I was talking about, where it felt super awkward because generally, for the amount of events I go to, and I think the other people in chat or in the podcast can back me up and say that like it's genuine, like general custom that when you know people really well, or even if you don't know people really well, if you feel comfortable, like you give people hugs. Like that's a very common thing.
You're right.
Yep.
I agree.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
And so I give Marlon this big ass hug, but I don't know Lisa, and like sure, like I don't care about like hugging people, even if they're of the opposite gender, like whatever, dude. But I'm not about to hug Marlon's girlfriend in front of him. Like
Why?
dude, he's gonna beat me up. He's ripped. He's like 6'8", dude. Like what's gonna happen? Okay. No.
That's not where I expected this to be
No,
going. I
I-
thought it was gonna be something like you're intimidated by his girlfriend or something. I
No,
don't
I
know.
just
Wait,
didn't
how
want.
tall is he actually? I need to know.
Oh,
This is
he's
important
like
information.
probably a couple centimeters taller than me. I don't
Oh.
actually know. I mean, there's a
How
picture.
tall are
but
you?
I
Okay.
am 5'6", 5'5".
Also in the picture, isn't he like on his knee?
No, there's another picture that's pinned in Celeste fans in general.
Celeste fans.
Yeah, you can see he's. I mean, we actually look around the same height in that picture, but.
Wait, I thought you were tiny though.
I am tiny.
How tiny are you?
He's 1 inch
Inches
taller than
to
me.
centimeters. This is for you Europeans. Okay. 166 centimeters.
It's not that bad.
But okay, like probably the coolest thing was we honestly got like VIP treatment. Like they had a rehearsal, like a stage rehearsal where like we literally just got on like we practiced like walking onto stage, sitting down, plugging our stuff in, timer countdown, playing the game for 3 minutes, and then improv interviews, and then walk off. And
Dude.
which was like,
Yep.
it was chill. I don't know what you were gonna say back.
No, continue.
Okay. But after that, they were like, okay, like, we're going to take you guys up to do your makeup now? And we're like, what the fuck? Makeup? Okay. So it's like, at this point, I think, like, some of them stayed. There were 8 runners total, and I think, like, 5 of us go up. And there was, like, this whole labyrinth of rooms backstage. I've never worked, like, theater stuff, so I wouldn't know what, like, backstage looks like. But basically, it's like this back room, this back like staircase. You go up a staircase, and then there's this hallway of a ton of rooms. And then we go into one room, and there's this girl who doesn't speak a lot of English, but like well enough, and is like basically just putting powder on us.
Was it just like anti-shine stuff?
I think so, but I honestly wouldn't know.
I mean,
I
yeah,
was
I
a
would guess.
that's what you would normally do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you had to do that for
GDQ.
SGDQ, right?
Yeah. No, it was different. It was more involved than that, but it wasn't like incredible.
Oh,
They used some like lotion too. I don't know.
really?
It was surprising.
Did
Okay.
this random French girl rub lotion into your face? Is that what
Yeah.
you're telling us?
Yes.
Into your
Don't take
face,
that out of
Is she
context.
single?
Is she? I wouldn't know.
I was a language barrier in general, by the way, because the stereotype is definitely that French people do not know jack shit of English.
It was. I did not run into anyone who like knew zero English. There were a lot of awkward moments. Well, first of all, I just remember one time I very awkwardly said bonjour a lot of times and merci, which are obviously you can tell by the way I say them. I come off as very American, and there was like one time.
Fromage baguette. Oui, oui.
There was one time.
Did you try any cheese?
No, I didn't.
What the hell? Any bread?
I had bread, but not a baguette.
I'm disappointed, Sushi.
There was one
continue.
time I was like in the fucking bathroom, and not only that, it was in the bathroom that was outside the theater, and this was while the theater was roped off, and there was someone in the bathroom, and they just go bonjour, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like, this pisses me off. Like,
I wonder if you look French. Like, can they tell
Actually,
that you're not French just by looking at
I
you?
don't know. I mean, I know that's what my mom said. Like, just because like I wore all black, like wow, it looks like very like French, very European. But I think that's not true. I think I
I'm
look
willing to
American.
bet they couldn't tell from a picture of you, but like if they saw you walking around, that there would be enough information there to clock you as American.
Yeah.
I don't think you look stereotypically American.
No, I don't think I don't look that American. But
By the
I
way,
am
were you
American.
nervous at all? Because from what we could tell on stream, you looked like all business. Even the interview was like picture perfect.
I was fucking
'Cause of the
so
practice.
nervous. Okay, so the thing about it, 4 runners have to share the same computer, right? Which realistically should not be a problem. The Secure and Celeste runners all played with controller. So for like mouse settings and keyboard settings, I just had to worry about me and the other Minecraft runner, which was Mathox. Mathox arrives like noon the day of the show. And the first thing he does is he fucking like changes the cursor of the computer which was like weird, but like whatever. And I don't know if he tinkered with more stuff, but the second I sat down on my computer, like after like doing my entrance to the stage for the real thing, I sat down, and I don't know if I was nervous or if the settings got tinkered with, but my mouse felt so much faster, like the mouse sensitivity, and I was like trying to like change everything, and I'm like, why all the settings are normal, why does this feel so weird, why does this feel so bad? And I was like internally freaking out, and I had like 5 minutes just like play the game before going to the run. But I was actually very nervous at the whole thing, and I guess a lot of people said I looked very calm, but I guess like the biggest at least what I've noticed for myself, the biggest tick for me was that like I was fixing my hair a lot, which I guess is something I do normally, but like I was doing it very, very often. That's very much a nervous tick for me.
I used to do it a lot in school during like presentations.
Yeah.
Presentations.
I don't know what you would call it.
If you got that
No, I
hair,
mean-
you know, gonna play with it a bit.
If it was hard to tell whether or not it was actually mouse sensitivity, it could have just been mouse acceleration.
It
I
could have
remember
been
that
that
happened
too,
to me.
yeah.
I remember that happened to me at AGDQ 20, and it was like hard to notice because it's not like actually moving faster, but it feels way more finicky because at some points it just jumps.
But yeah, I just want to say in tangent to like awkward like language barrier stuff, probably the worst thing was like me and TGH were we traveled together, right? And we were like we were waiting for the train going back. And the way the train ticket works is that it was like a cart number and then a seat number. And all the carts have identical seats. We were in like cart 2, which apparently was like first class, has nice seats. I don't know what the fuck we did, but we entranced through a door that had a 2 next to it, like a big 2. So we thought it was cart 2. And we go in and we find the seat numbers, which all the trains, all the carts have the same seat numbers, so we find our seats. And we're like just about getting set in, and then like we're in the economy class, which like it's like whatever. We're in the train for like an hour, and then some woman comes up and like starts spitting French, and we're like, parlez-vous anglais? And she's like,
Yes, merci.
she's like, this is my seat. And then like we show her our tickets, and she like looked at us with like the I fucking hate Americans look, but like not really. She was like, I heard those seats are a lot nicer or something like that. And we still go. Like, I think at the end of the day, we found the right seats because someone scanned our tickets. Some very intimidating man who spoke French, like, scanned our tickets and, like, didn't say anything. But I still don't understand how the fucking trains work. I don't know what cart number we were in. All I know is that we found the right seats.
So were the right seats actually that much better?
It was, like, instead of, like, fucking... The seats were, like, more padded, like, cushioned and padded. It felt more like a sofa couch rather than, like, the other thing were more like public park benches, I guess. I don't know.
So what's your opinion on public transportation in France versus the US? Do you want to give us any thoughts? Any political commentary?
Oh no.
No, not like, dude, fuck America. Like, at least where I live, like, when you take the train, like, the train is this loud-ass, squeaky thing. It comes in the stop and it goes... And like...
Good impression.
The one memory
Wait,
I
you have trains?
Dude, it's part of the subway aesthetic. Come on.
Yeah, like we have the one major city I'm near. Like one time, me and my buddies went to PAX East, so we took a train into Boston. The one W I will remember from that story is that we like didn't have time to buy tickets on the way back because it was like the commuter rail, so it runs at specific times. And we're like, fuck it, like the train's not gonna come back for another hour if we don't go now. So we like just got on the train. And, like, we had money. It's not like we were, like, trying to dodge the fare. So there's this guy going around, like, checking everyone's tickets. And, like, we were, like, 15. And we just all had money. We didn't have tickets. The guy checks every person in the train but us. He does not check our tickets. And we were like, W, baby. Let's go. Like, that. We were so hyped. But, that's, like, the only time I actually rid the train in, like, my country. And in France, like, we had this train was going, like... 300 kilometers per second. It was so quiet. There were places to like put bags per second. Fuck, per hour. Fuck, dude.
Isn't actually the speed of light actually?
I think so.
300 kilometers per second. Yeah, that'd be 30 million.
Speed of light, right?
Okay.
Wait, no. Speed of light is 3 times 10 to the 8th, right?
I think it's a
Oh,
place short.
nerd.
Yeah.
Nerds in here.
Speed of light. It's something with 3. Oh yeah, you're right. No, wait. No. Okay, go on. Anyway.
the train ride was super
Okay,
nice, and it's
Oddball.
also like maybe it's just like France, but like we went from the Paris airport to like Lille. So Paris is obviously a really crowded city, and Lille, I don't know how like crowded of a city it is, but like it's not rural at all. It's definitely urban. And like we just passed through like an hour of farm fields. It was so like tranquil and nice. And then like uh random funny story that just came to mind was that the day after the competition, me and Tej were waiting a long time for a train, so I think we met someone from his Discord, and we were just like walking around town after getting food, and this like beggar came up to us and like asked for money in French, and we looked at him really confused, and then he asked for money in English, and we're like, damn, dude.
What the hell?
Like, it was like this guy who obviously like, I mean, I don't like judging a book by its cover, but to put it briefly, like he did look like homeless. He didn't look very well off. He looked like he was struggling. He looked like someone who would be asking for money. Not to say that in a
maybe
mean way.
you don't know that. Maybe he went to like makeup school or something and
Maybe.
learned how to fake it. I don't know.
But it's like he asked in French,
That's a reach, dude.
and granted, like the guy,
There's a lot of fake homeless people, especially in the
yeah.
US.
Yeah.
but the person who's from TGH's Discord like speaks French, so he looks at him and he like completely ignores him, and then the guy like in perfect English, I'm not even joking, like probably like I'm there like memes about like French people having like or French people speaking English and having like really strong accents. This guy like actually spoke incredible English, and it's just like, I need money for my health, please. But
Bro, you're asking Americans for money for health.
I'm like, yeah, dude, you want?
we have it worse. Sorry, buddy.
Oh my god.
I'm like, yeah, dude, you want US dollars? I got you. But yeah,
Did he take your US
Dude,
dollars?
after a wizard
No, I
like
didn't
that,
offer.
you should have done it.
like just impressed with his English.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, adding on to the experience of how cool I felt after we got our makeup done, it was like 5 p.m. and the show starts at 7 p.m. And they were like, okay, if you guys can leave if you want. We'd prefer you stay here, but you need to be back in the theater by 6 p.m. No later. Like you have to be backstage by 6 p.m. And we're like, okay. So a couple of us go out to our rooms. And I wanted to go out, but like the area outside the theater was already super crowded. Like there was already like people filling up. And
Okay.
obviously I'm a very small person, and literally I was trying to like go around it, and probably the most important I've ever felt was one of the staff members was like, you need to get through, and I was like, yeah, literally guides me through the crowd to get to the other side, and I'm like, wow, I
That's
feel
nutty.
so important right now. Additionally,
yeah, that's the dream right there.
yeah. Additionally, there was a back room where all the runners were in, where like 20 minutes before we go on, they'd call us. That room had like 3 bottles of apple juice, 3 bottles of orange juice, 3 bottles of pineapple juice, like a gallon of water, a gallon of sparkling water. It had like cookies and biscuits, so many. Halfway through the show, they brought in pizza and muffins. It was so crazy, dude. And I think backstage, there were people from an esports org, Millennium, I think it was, and they were interviewing some of us. And it was really funny because they were asking everyone like people don't like to admit that. Oddbot, I'm curious if you were there. Because they were talking about like people don't like to admit that speedrunning is an esport. They were like talking about like speedrunning being an esport, and everyone kind of gave the answer of like, well, yes, but no. It was yeah. I mean, they seemed like good people, and they were obviously like very used to like covering mainstream esports stuff, and they were like at this event. And all I remember is that they interviewed me. I don't know if they ever like uploaded the video because they took a video, but there was like one woman there were like 3 people. There was a camera guy, the guy actually doing the interviewer, and there was one woman. And I presume because of the way like they talked to each other, the woman was like the highest in charge. And I mean, granted, because of the fact that like I literally run a podcast and I'm a live streamer and I'm also a dumb bitch, so I talk a lot. And I think, like, at the end of the interview, like, she was really fucking pissed that I talked for so long. I mean, that's just a feeling. I'm not sure, but yeah.
Did they have any Le Poguera for you?
Limpo gears. No.
You said you could only practice on stage, right?
Yeah.
So were there only 2 PCs, or
There were
did you
there
have
were
more?
only 2
Because
PCs.
that
That's
sounds so
mess.
awkward. How did people practice then? Because those runs were like really back to back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, basically, the thing is, we got in, like, Friday afternoon, Friday evening, and, like, literally we had nothing else to do other than play video games and talk to each other, so we kind of switched off the computer as well. I mean, I probably played the most out of anyone, I feel like, and I probably played for, like, maybe 2 hours, tops. Like, that's on the higher end of an estimate.
That's so weird, man.
Yeah, it seems like they probably just had to wing it, what I could tell.
I mean, because obviously these people aren't, like, super involved, like, in loop with speedrunning, so, I mean, to be fair, it's not like they probably wouldn't see practicing as a super vital thing, you know. But
Well, like
obviously,
not enough to like know what you're practicing.
yeah, I
is
mean,
fine,
obviously
but-
for us, it's like like playing away from home. Saying that, I put literally thousands of hours into this game. It's like playing away from home. Like the slightest difference can make a big thing. Like I know the Sekiro runners because like they were talking. Obviously, like that game has a lot of more precise skips. And like one of the runners, like actually no, he definitely played the most past the floor. He was like on one day, he was on the computer for like 4 hours, and he was like, "This just feels wrong. Like I can't put my finger on it, but I just can't play it right." And Lil Aggie was like, "Yeah, the colors on this computer just feel really off, like some like really minuscule like elitist shit." Like,
Oh, he
I
couldn't
mean,
line up his skips or whatever.
It's kind of it's understandable because like, you know, even if your computer is shittier than the one they have there, you're still gonna feel that difference, you know?
yeah,
Yeah, I feel like Celeste is like lucky to be exempt from it for the most part, but like in general, running PC games, it can feel so different to just run the game on like a different PC. Like, you know, I can probably say with huge experience like being a hat runner, which is like a game that is way more performance based than we wish it was, and it can feel way off just to like get used to different things because like even if there aren't things that are like inherently performance based in the run, like just feeling comfortable with how the game plays can just be way different. I don't know if that that probably applies to Sekiro the most out of the games that were played there. I don't know how that is with Portal.
See, that reminds me of ESA. There was one PC where Pico 8 actually ran like the smoothest I've ever seen. I wish I could play Pico 8 like that every time. There was like no input lag at all.
wow.
Like it felt like absolute instant. It was crazy.
Was
Every
it just a
time I
practice
hear-
PC?
What?
Was it just a practice PC?
Yeah, it was one specific practice PC. On that one in specific, it just felt like fucking making love to the game. It was so amazing. It felt so good. I can't like it. Just I don't know. It was just insane.
Every time I hear about that stuff, I have to think about the appearances of Meat Boy at any marathon because there were always tech issues. And if Meat Boy runs any bit slower than like 60 FPS, it's so jank and feels completely different. It has like a really bad record of tech problems at GEQs.
I have a really bad habit of running PC games that are performance based. Because, like, I guess Celeste is the only thing that I've played that doesn't have that problem. Dude, Celeste players
Except when you play bingo.
Except when I play bingo, yeah. But
Breaking
like,
news.
my most recent like speedrunning endeavor has been Psychonauts, and like I didn't ever think that I would manage to run a game that works worse than Hat in Time does. But you know, we made it happen.
What is your PC?
My PC?
Yeah.
Well, like specs in
Yeah.
particular.
What do you run this shit on?
I can't say the details right now. I wouldn't be able to
It's
list off the top
classified
of my head.
information.
Alas.
Can't disclose the
It's-
Brady
it's
Flair
really
PC.
It's really old.
I just want to say I have some breaking news. 2904 from Carl.
2904?
Very
Yo!
nice.
You clap for
Holy
that?
shit.
Congrats, Carl. And 90% Celeste.
Insane.
I thought it was an ARP.
Hmm.
Alright then.
Hmm.
Okay, buddy.
Well, if we want to finish talking about France, one of the other things that we had in mind, I don't know how many people this applies to, like in this group, but if you want to talk about more marathon stuff, we just had Frost Fatale go down, and also this upcoming week submissions for SGDQ 20 is going to be opening. I have stuff to say about that, about my own submissions. I know Sushi might also, but yeah, there's just room to talk about
There was also ESA.
yeah, and
Who
ESA
cares?
also.
Who cares?
So let's start. I guess Did you guys not talk about ESA last week?
We briefly touched on it.
Let's
we
talk
can
about
definitely
Oddbod's
talk about it
experience
more.
more.
at ESA. Oddbod, I talked about my travel experience. It's your turn.
Oh,
ESA.
yeah. I don't know. It was good. It was nice seeing everybody. I mean, a bunch of you people have been to a marathon before. You know how it is. Just seeing people being chill. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it wasn't like as much of an event as your France thing. So like nothing does stick out too much. Just a chill weekend with the boys. You know.
I
I
mean,
don't know
but
if
you
you guys
got
have any questions.
but you got the threesome room though, right?
No, we actually didn't. I slept on the couch.
Bruh.
Damn.
I guess the one thing that does stand out is the fact that like literally every single run I had tech issues, and it's the funniest shit.
Nice.
go.
Little known information of Celeste fans lore is like I think we did talk about how before the server was created it was just because we were like shitposting in like some voice chat of like Celeste tournament Discord. And then whenever this Discord was made, the first ever message in this Discord is just psyched saying, "We have a server for the threesome now."
Yeah, that's when it was just me, Psyched, and Oddbod in the server, and that was his
No,
first thing.
wasn't it psyched Moose Oddbod?
No, because I'm the owner of the server.
Well, yeah. I
Maybe
know you
it
were the
was,
first
I
three
don't know.
people.
Yeah, but no, those would be
That
the
was the
threesome.
three.
Yes.
That was the three. I know. Yeah.
The threesome was the three of us. You're right, Brady. But yeah, dude, actually, because I just thought of it, like the tech issues were so funny. Like on my first run there at the King Knight, there was like some random, I think it was Uplay, like some random person messaging, like on Uplay, which I guess like a previous one I had Uplay on. I don't know. That wasn't too bad. And then the other ones were the fucking funniest on stream too. Like I thought that the PC was just lagging as shit, so I had like a hard time installing stuff before the runs and stuff, and just clicking around. And eventually, like I would just click on stuff a bunch of times, like when I wanted to open a folder, and eventually it would open, but just take forever. So I assumed that the PC was just lagging like crazy. As it turns out, after the first like run, we like I had 2 runs in a row. I had a short tag first and then Gato. After the first run, like we restart the PC because we thought that the PC was broken. It's still the same thing. And then like Levi, who's like the tech guy, calls like another tech guy to like check what's going on. And as it turns out, like what was actually broken was the mouse, and like it would like if you would left click 10 times, like only one of the 10 left clicks would work.
Oh my god.
That's what I figured you would say.
Good
when I
thing you
heard-
play on controller, right? Haha.
Yeah, but I mean, like it just we had to like install stuff, so that was the issue.
I just want to say, actually, not on a note of like tech issues, but I just when you said the Uplay pop up, that just reminds me. If you go back to my one GDQ run, which, as of course, world famous Half-Life race, in like the first minute of the run, I get a Steam pop-up like store ad, and I don't know why my reaction was this, but like I just immediately clicked out of it and just completely ignored it. Like, most professional thing I've done ever.
Nice. Gaming it up.
That doesn't sound like the M Sushi I know.
No, I'd like make fun of it, but like instead I just literally like clicked out of it like it was an intended part of the run. Like, oh yeah, just pop-up skip here.
Wait, was it like visible on stream?
Yes. You can go to the VOD.
I need to go check that out.
Yeah, I gotta go back and see that.
It's nutty. I thought you were about to lead that into something that like it was an indication that you were like online on Steam or something, and that it was gonna turn into something worse.
No, that was what
I
happened.
don't know how
for
people are still
Wayzone.
making that mistake.
For
in
Wayzone's
2020.
run, he was offline, but he wasn't in an offline mode. He just appeared offline. So all the people who like friend requested him appeared on stream. And I remember because I was like on the couch and I remember seeing some questionable people names add him.
Well, yeah, that's bound to happen.
Yeah.
People get on that right away. They're
Uh-huh.
quick. And that happened like multiple times just in the most recent GDQ. And I see it, I'm like, dude, how do people like still make this mistake? Like, this is not the first thing that goes through your mind
Yeah.
whenever you
It
get
was
on.
something I made sure didn't happen frame towels.
Before we
I
talk
mean-
about that, I just want one question for Oddbod. I see on Twitter
Yes.
at ESA there's an ice cream machine. Is this true?
Oh, yeah, and it's actually hella good.
Dude, okay, I'm going
It's
to
actually
ESA. I'm booking
it's like
flights right
soft ice,
now.
and it's really good.
Oh,
Is it soft serve?
Yeah, it's soft ice. You can just get it. Like,
it's like all free.
doing
Like
it.
you can just take it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
been there-
completely
it's been there,
free.
like, every. It's been there
Holy
like
shit.
every year.
Oh.
So
It's actually
people talking
super
about it.
good.
Dude,
It's
ESA
amazing.
treats the runners and attendees right, dude.
The ESA was hella snug.
I mean,
Dude,
actually,
it was.
I mean, I can't say if this is a common thing for GDQ, but the one GDQ I went, I think the charity Doctors Without Borders, like one day they just bought a shit ton of cake for all the attendees.
Oh,
And there was like
nice,
cake.
nice.
Yeah.
Also, there's two more vital informations about ESA that I need to share. One of them was the fact that like the practice area was in like the same area as the stream room, and so on the back there's like I want to say like maybe 20 PCs or so, maybe like 15. And so literally because we're like fucking 6 or 7 Celeste runners there, like half the area would always be just Celeste.
Yeah,
Like at
you
some
play
point we
bingo?
did like at some point we did a blackout bingo, and it was literally like almost an entire row of PCs when there's only like 2 rows pretty much, and we almost took an entire row of just Celeste. So that was epic. And then the other absolute vital information that I hate to expose my boy Luke like this, but it needs to be talked about. You know how people make fun of me for like not being able to say squirrel,
Yeah.
and how people make fun of like Axe to you for not being able to say dash slash?
Yes.
Luke has the same thing where we were at like this Italian place eating for dinner, and Luke's like, "Yo, let me get a pay whale."
Oh, what?
Wait, what?
Well, he was trying to
Again?
say pay. He was trying to say pale ale, and I understood what he meant, but he says like pay whale,
Oh my god.
and it's the cutest fucking shit.
Yo, maybe that's just
Also-
his accent. Okay, don't hate.
I mean, yeah, but what?
That's
You
how
guys
it is
make
with
fun of me for
squirrel,
squirrel.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like, I don't think there's anything wrong with the way you say squirrel. I don't know what the fuss is about. Like, it
I mean, I
sounds
don't think there's
normal.
anything wrong with him
Okay.
saying pale ale either. I just thought it was fucking
to
hilarious.
be fair, I think you should change the meme with you from squirrel to rural, because that word is way worse.
rural.
I think actually it isn't, and it's just I've gotten practice at squirrel now, so it's fine now. Better.
Yeah,
I think
change
that's
it-
actually what
change it to-
happened.
Change it to rural and up the price.
I
a little
might,
bit.
yeah.
Rural
Maybe.
brewery. Oh god.
Maybe.
That's so awful.
I've had the pleasure of hearing Oddbot attempt to say rural a few times.
Rural brewery. Was that bad?
It's such a
wasn't-
good
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's not.
not
It
that
doesn't
bad.
sound like a real word. Like
Rural-
I see it, I
rural-
don't understand what I'm
I don't
saying.
want this hard.
Rural squirrel. It's nice.
Rural brewery. That's hard.
Not bad.
Oh wow. But yeah, if you want to bully Luke, just ask him to say pale ale. That's the information to be taken from me, you say.
Well, bam.
Is there? I heard there's free healthcare at ESA.
Oh.
Weird champ, weird champ, weird
Yeah,
champ.
there's the free healthcare machine.
Alright then, dude.
Exactly.
Also, it was windy as fuck. It was actually like out of a cartoon at some points. Like, because it was so windy, like, you know how hotels, they have like these doors that like spin around and you can like, you know. How do I explain this? You guys know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
the
yeah.
spinning
Revolving
doors?
doors.
Doors?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, because it was so windy, they would close those down like during the evening. And there was like a normal fucking door next to it, right? Initially, it was so windy that at some points, like when we wanted to go outside, you literally had to like press open the normal door with like your entire body. Because there was just so much wind
Oh
like
my
pressing against
God.
from the other side. It
I
was like
would've
actually, I
been
think
able to-
like 100 kilometers per hour or some shit, which is like insane.
Don't
A
you mean
bunch of
100
flights got
kilometers per
cancelled
second?
actually. It was crazy windy. You had to like walk, like bend over to like reduce surface area because otherwise you just get blown away. It was actually ridiculous. Like it looked like a fucking cartoon, looking like seeing people walk outside. I mean, it makes sense. It's like right next to the coast and shit, but still, Jesus. Yeah, Ruby's saying in chat he walked like 45 degrees. Like literally, that's actually what happened. We all walked like that. You had to.
God.
You actually had to.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I would have been stuck at the door waiting for someone else to help me in.
Yeah.
When you walk.
when you walk. Oh my god.
So, is that up for ESA?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
All right.
There's only one person that can really provide insight into that. So yeah.
Not unlike the French thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, Sushi ran his course on that too.
Man, I
Frost
kind of had more
Fatales?
questions for the French thing, but I don't want to throw
no,
them in.
No, ask away. Ask away.
Yeah, one is
Please.
specifically at you, Sushi. So you played with screen watching your opponent, right?
Like I could
Is that
see my
correct?
opponent's screen.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the base of the stage, they had screens that showed the live feed. So yeah, I could
Okay.
see.
Yeah, because I've been recently doing a bunch of Spelunky races, and they allow screen watching as well. And I have like mixed opinions about this. How did you feel about this? Like, did you like it? Did you not like it? Or did you actually feel that it influenced your decision making at any point?
Well, the biggest thing is that obviously it was like, in that race was actually really good, and that we're basically like pretty even until like 12 minutes in. Basically, we were just about even, but I just, yeah, at the end of the run when I was going to the boss fight, like I made a mistake, and normally I try to make a cycle, but saying that I knew I was like 20 seconds ahead, like I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna take an extra cycle because I can't lose. But if I royally fuck up a cycle, then I can lose. So like that definitely my
Yeah,
decision making in.
I think that definitely gives a like not insignificant advantage to the person that's ahead, because you have that ability to be less aggressive, right?
Yeah,
But,
that's
uh,
basically
I
how I
was-
felt about it.
I was asking about it whenever the Celeste race was live because I wasn't sure if that was actually
Yeah,
the case.
no, they could see each other.
But yeah, but like
Was it
Okay.
deliberate choice or just like a consequence of how they
Deliberate
set
choice.
it up?
yeah, there was just an extra monitor that straight up had it.
There were
right
like
next to it.
two one on the bottom left stage and one on the
Like-
bottom right stage.
I was saying, like, if it were me, I would never want to, like, I would have shut the monitor off. I don't feel like I would have ever wanted to be in that position in the first place. And I feel like, and Celeste in particular, with how that race went down, like,
It
I
wasn't
feel like
useful.
I feel like it'd be something I'd have to like ask the runners themselves. But like
Yeah.
it was as close as it was. The runs weren't like particularly clean. They were kind of like trading back and forth a lot, especially in the end game. Like both of them lost like 30 seconds in Summit, or like around there roughly each, and like a lot of it was just them either being really close, and then one person would take an 8-second death, and then people would be like, "Oh my gosh, no, Marlon can win again," and then would come back, stuff like that. I feel like that could possibly be a consequence of like you've been playing even with someone for so long, and then you see them take the death. It's like, oh, this is my chance. I got to break ahead now, right?
Mhm.
And then you choke under the pressure because that just like I saw that happen a decent amount. I don't know, but like I said, that's something I'd have to confirm with themselves.
I
but
think
I would never want to be in that position. I
I
would turn the
think
monitor off.
the way it went made the race, at least for Celeste, go really well.
Well, yeah,
So,
yeah.
So if that's the result, the question is how much does it cost the runners to do that?
It's more entertaining than it would have been if they both blew 27s. I will say, it makes it better for spectating that way. But that's just how it turns out.
I do want to
The way-
say, not only at this French thing, which like yeah, that race was crazy, but I played at pace, and I know Brady, you can back me up at pace. Obviously, you didn't actually like compete, but the way the stage was set up is that while you're sitting down, you see your screen, and right behind your screen, in your peripheral at all time, is the live feed of your opponent on the big screen. And if you turn 20 degrees to the left, you will see another screen that has the live feed. And if you turn 60 more degrees, you'll see another live feed on a TV. And if you 180, there will also be a live feed. It's like, you could not, like, at pace, you literally had to see your opponent. Like, you could not. So, like, in comparison to this event, it felt super tame just because that's how I was conditioned. But
Sushi with his protractor.
Yeah, Sushi was measuring it like during pace. Like, dude, this is bullshit. It's like only 20 degrees on my side.
dude, this is not up to regulation standard.
Yeah, and I mean that was more because like it was asked earlier, like, was that a deliberate choice or just a consequence of how it was set up? That was the consequence of like how it was set up.
Yeah.
You know? They didn't really plan for that to be visible to the other people because they had them like sitting like across from each other, like directly facing.
Yeah,
So,
I think
yeah.
in these races they were close enough to where it didn't matter much. But I feel like it has a chance of like promoting overly safe play when you're ahead and you know your opponent made a big mistake. So I'm kind of
Mhm.
torn on this. On the other hand, you could say it's like more strategic depth to it and like kind of interactive.
Yeah,
So
and like
I wanted to hear
it's
your
funny
opinion on
because like after how long, like people will talk about, myself included, how like speedrunning like 1v1 races are like not like great spectators things because they're not interactive, and then like you have this interaction and I find it dumb.
Well, it's
Yeah.
it's kind of like a balance. Like in this situation, you have perfect information of your opponent, whereas in something like bingo, you only have a very limited amount of information. And I think that offers more depth to strategy.
Yeah,
than,
that's why that's more interactive.
than perfect.
In other words,
information.
bingo great, GSA sucks. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It was good.
Oh yeah, I
No,
heard I heard somebody say
yes.
about that French thing. I think it was in the Discord. Somebody typed it that this event was what GSA wishes to be, and I thought it was pretty funny.
That's actually true, yeah.
So how do you guys feel about this event like fitting in with other speedrun events? Because I feel it was a great event spectator wise, and it looked like it was a great event for the runners as well. And it was like the opposite end of the spectrum compared to something like Twitch Rivals, where you had a little bit more relaxed atmosphere and more of the community present.
Mhm.
And this was like more of a stardom, only the top of the runners. So would you guys love to see this event like more often, or do you think like once was good enough?
Well, first of all, I don't know if it's a thing that they can like do regularly.
Like,
Whenever
sustain.
yeah, whenever we were talking about this and how like, you know, how high production quality they put into it, we were originally thinking like, you know, like, dude, like how do they profit off this, right? Like it's so much going
They
into
sold
it.
a bunch of tickets.
I mean, that is true. That's something I didn't realize before the event when I was talking about it, is like how well they sold out the venue. But like, you know, even then, it's not like we figured that it was more of like, you know, a bunch of people said that it was just something they did for fun since they had the means to do so. It's like a passion project. It's like I don't know if that's something that they would consider doing more often, but I enjoyed it more than like other competitive speedrunning things have tried to do, and that was like
Break the
their
record.
first that was like their first step into the scene. So I think it was pretty good in that aspect. Yeah.
I can say that it's one thing that I feel like they definitely took a chance with speedrunning, but I think another big thing is just taking a chance with like international like people, because
Yeah.
I don't think it was easy to even get the other French runners out there. Like France is a big country at that, and even to fly people out from America and Canada and some train rides to Germany.
France isn't that big of a country. France is like the size of Texas.
A little bigger, but you know, I actually wouldn't know. You live in Texas, so I don't wanna I don't wanna get fact checked here, but you know, it's like
Texas is 678,000 square kilometers, while France is approximately 501,000 square kilometers.
all right, well,
Dude, Texas puts France in the dust.
yeah, actually, damn.
Oh
But
my God.
yeah, obviously, like
Get fact checked.
saying that they sold each sheet at like €5, and I think the number of people threw around was 1,200 people, so it's like €6,000 they made from just attendees, and then it's like when you consider that it's like €20,000 of the prize pool, and then probably another 10,000 to pay for all the runners' travel and hotel, maybe more. And it's the fact that you also have a ton of people working backstage. There was a double-digit amount of people working in the crew, so I'd give that a good amount of money too. Like that event took a lot to put on, and especially when you consider that's only a 3-hour time frame. Like if I was
Yeah.
big CEO boss man, I'd be like, fuck speedrunning, dude. Like, and I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much they made of like sponsorships as well, because they had like Pringles sponsorships or
Pringles.
whatever,
let's stream.
and they usually pay like really well. Like not Pringles particularly, but like big orgs in general. But yeah, I doubt they made like a profit.
I mean,
So someone in chat just now mentioned that there's another event for speedrunning soon in France called Speedrunning. Or I don't know how you pronounce it, but like it's got a fancy looking webpage. It's like
oh,
it's gonna be 55 hours long.
How much money?
how much?
Uh,
money?
Don't try to roughly translate this, dude.
Yeah, I took Spanish, not French. It's benefiting Médecins du Monde.
Woo!
Doctors of the world, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's on the 27th to 29th of March.
It's undeniably impressive how they put that whole thing together, and like, I feel like
Yeah.
it's also crazy that like when they made a project this big that they would give something like this a chance, and it's crazy that it actually worked out well.
That's true. Yeah, but putting aside how doable such an event is, like, would you guys say we should encourage such events, or would you be more inclined to support something like Twitch Rivals, where you see more of the community?
I'm not sure. Honestly, I think it's important to like have those massive spectator things, so I wouldn't really mind it. And also, like, Twitch Rivals hasn't like been going back to speedrunning all that much. Like, they tried it with Celeste one time, and then they were like, "Yeah, what speedrunning game should we come back to next?" And they never really came back to it again. They've just been sticking to like their main stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know. For people that were around for Twitch Rivals, I don't know what it was actually like as a spectator. I can't really provide insight on how it was because I was like actually playing it on my own.
It was a
And-
little bit more confusing than this French event, obviously, because you had so many people at the same time on screen.
And
But-
also, like, another good feedback that people had to give about Twitch Rivals was like the big community interaction, which, like, not to be a downer, but like never happened to me because I was like fighting with YP for not being last place the entire time. So I was never really on like nutty paces out of the game. So I got like main screen time once, and thank goodness I like played well in the one time that I got given screen time. But I didn't really like reap the same benefits that like Shy and Moose did and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think. Go ahead.
I want to say that, like, I think the biggest thing about speedrun events, regardless of, like, format, is that, like, longevity is a huge problem for speedrunning. Because I feel like for a lot of, like, of course, like, we're all biased because we're all in the speedrunning loop. Like, I fucking love speedrunning, okay? I find all these glitches super cool and, like, all these methods of beating games. But for a lot of the public, like, speedrunning has an initial kind of, like, shock value. Like, oh, that's kind of cool. But it doesn't stick with a lot of people. Like, longevity is a huge problem for all speedrun events, in my opinion. I think there's a huge reason why GDQ, the two annual events, do super well. And I feel like a lot of other, like, ESA obviously now has 2 annual events. And now GDQ has been trying to, like, branch out to, like, the hotfix and, like, these other kind of cool, more regular content. But obviously it's not doing incredibly well. Now it's actually... What's the thing
I mean,
called?
it's still doing great.
I mean, it's doing great, but when you consider that you have a platform where Games Done Quick, at its peak, is literally the most popular Twitch channel on the platform, and now it's kind of getting, I wouldn't say swept under the rug, because a couple thousand viewers is nothing to scoff at, but, like, in comparison, it's not successful. If I was a League of Legends live streamer, and one day I had 100,000 viewers, and the next day I had 5,000 viewers, it would be a failure, you know?
I mean, it's literally like.
I don't think so, because I think the way you're talking about the hot fixes, you're making it sound like the viewers that are pulled during hot fixes are hurting general GDQ viewership, which it's not at all.
I mean, it's also it's like saying like you have a channel that streams the Olympics, and then one day it streams like practice for the Olympics. I don't know where this analogy is going.
It's like Riot Games channel streaming league games every time, and they get like 50,000 viewers, and they stream like the World Grand Finals and they get 500,000 viewers.
It's basically the difference from me streaming Hat and Time or Celeste and then streaming Psychonauts.
I mean, yeah. No, I mean, obviously, like, for example, when I stream Celeste versus when I stream the podcast on the main channel, like, viewers go down. But obviously, I think,
Oh, okay.
obviously, I haven't looked at GDQ in a while, obviously I'm following it, but when you consider that the main event gets hundreds of thousands of viewers, and then these hotfix events get, like, maybe 5% of that? I mean, I know Frame Fatalis did really well, more like 10, 15%. But even at that, like, that's very significant. And obviously, I know Games Done Quick gets a lot of media run, like mainstream media, and it gets a lot of Twitch front page run when it is like doing one of the biannual events. Does biannual mean every other year or twice a year?
I believe it's twice.
Good question.
Annual means every other year. You're thinking of semi-annual, which
Right.
fucking words are hard.
But no, I mean, and granted, like, I mean, I think the hotfix is cool, but I'm not a huge fan of the other type of content that GDQ puts out. But I think, I don't think it's a coincidence that the speedrunning channel is doing so staggeringly different in comparison to its real life events. I mean, like, obviously, I think a better comparison for me would be like, for like Smash or Counter-Strike or like Dota, when you have the online tournaments versus when you have the real life tournaments. And the real life tournaments or the online tournaments will still pull in like, tens of thousands of viewers, but the LAN tournaments will pull in like hundreds of thousands. It's more like a one fourth or one fifth of the total viewership of these online to LAN. But I feel like
Are you telling me that 10,000 divided by 100,000 is 1/4 or 1/5?
I am just throwing numbers out of my ass because I don't have any actual statistics. But I'm trying. I mean, if you disagree with me, go for it, because I can't argue it on numbers I'm pulling out of my ass. I'm trying to reach consensus. But I'm trying to make the point that, like, GDQ, in comparison to, like, its average stream to, like, its event streams, does, like, significantly worse than other gaming mediums.
Yeah, but it's probably also because some of it is completely different content, right?
Yeah.
So, like, a LAN tournament compared to an online tournament is still the same thing. You're still going to see a tournament, whereas hotfix, sometimes they just do, like... Don't they also have, like, a talk show for a while?
I think
And then on
used
hotfix
to.
also have, like, where they just show off, like, random shit.
Okay,
That's probably why
randomly-
Frame Fatale is doing better, because that's actually, like, marathon, so
Yeah,
it's, like,
the
comparable.
thing I think that sets it apart more so than it being like content that people are less interested in watching than actual GDQs is just the fact that, like, because GDQs are so well known and like they're always at the same time frame and they're 24/7. So like if you're not a person that's really invested in speedrunning, but it's something you want to watch every once in a while, you know when it's gonna happen, so you're not gonna miss it. So like having that that consistent thing going allows it to pull in people that aren't really like super invested in speedrunning, and like GDQ is like the biggest connection from inside speedrunning to like outside viewers. It's like the closest thing that there is. So
Yeah.
that's a big thing.
I think content plays a big role as well, though. On GDQs, you get like well commentated, no reset runs, and then you go to a speedrun streamer, your average speedrun streamer, and they reset a lot, but don't do like particularly good commentary, probably, and it's just a completely different experience.
Yeah, like even when they have like, because for example, there's also like GDQX, which is like another event that's like not like big mainstream GDQ, but like it's at a consistent time frame, and I'm pretty sure that event like gets way more than their hotfixes does. It's going to be at least close, I think. I don't actually know for certain. Maybe like 25,000. But yeah, like that alone like gives it just that much bigger of a boost because it's just at TwitchCon. It's like when it's going to be. And once again, it's like 24/7.
I mean,
I'm assuming Frost Fatale was also decently close to that.
It was 24/7 the whole week, yeah.
Yeah.
overall, regardless of how flawed like my evidence is, I think a huge problem with speedrunning events is longevity, as in like
Mhm.
I mean, there's the whole
Yeah.
meme about like the GDQ boost, but it's like realistically, like people who watch speedruns twice a year probably don't want to see your grind sessions,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What do they want to see?
They want to see like that one run, and they don't care. A lot of the non-speedrunning community that watches GDQ, it's very like obvious to see when someone tries to talk about it that when someone like is not an actual runner and when someone is. So I think a lot of the thing about like the GDQ boosts and also like what GDQ events get showings and what doesn't is the fact that you mentioned earlier the semi-annual events are really the only ones that get major coverage. To the point where not only do some people not want to watch the events in between, but also a lot of people don't know about hotfix. Like, it's been going on for a while. There have been a lot of different hotfix shows that have come and gone and a lot of different hotfix events. Yet almost every hotfix, if you're in chat, you'll see multiple people being like, yo, I didn't know you guys streamed more than the 2 events. Or so some people who think, wait, is SGDQ going on like right now? So it's just a matter of it's not getting the word out enough because not enough people don't care if the big stage and the big crowd isn't present.
Yeah, because like they try and advertise it like in the same way they would otherwise, I assume. It's just also that like hotfix is something that like they decide like as far as I know, like whenever they get stuff to do, because they host community events, you know, you've got to like invite people to do stuff. So like as far as I know, it's not like a fully consistent schedule.
It's planned. Well, the shows have a consistent schedule, like what show is when.
Well, yeah.
But like the plan, unlike these events that literally take half a year to like get all the info for and go to the event, hotfix shows are usually planned like planning starts like maybe 3 weeks before the show.
Yeah.
Like a show I did recently was I was on the community showcase for Shovel Knight at the beginning of February, and like we learned that was happening like 2 weeks before the showcase.
Yeah, they did a hotfix show in January that I was invited to, where it was basically like the point of the show was to show off underappreciated categories and like entertaining games. And so what they did is they just took games from the AGDQ 20 schedule, which was already accepted at the time, and just picked a couple games from there that I guess they liked, and then went and asked those communities like what some other category besides like the main one that got in that they would want to play.
This was Death Wish, right?
Yeah, and Hat in Time, I was there for a run of that. It was in that hotfix, and we did Death Wish, and that went really well. And like we were asked about it, like he just joined the Hat speedrunning server like a week and a half, maybe, yeah, probably around that, like before the show. It was just like, hey, is there another category that you guys want to run? I was like, yeah, should do Death Wish.
We should do 110%.
He originally asked for all time pieces because he figured that like that would be the good alternative, and I was like, actually, and then everyone agreed, so we just did that instead. Ended up being a really good race. But yeah, that was like pretty short notice, but that hotfix was pretty entertaining. That's one of the few that I have watched because I can actually say I was present for. I don't catch them that often.
So you watched that one because
well, yeah, but there were like 4 or 5 other games in that slot. I still watched it because it was all things from the schedule, so I had interest in watching it. I remembered something completely randomly that we could be able to talk about, but I don't know. It's just a random idea, so feel free to shut me up if it's not worth talking about. But how do you guys feel about making like a Celeste like side event, I guess, with IL tournaments?
We're not going to talk about that. Anybody want to talk about that?
I don't quite understand what you mean, honestly.
Because I think a bunch of people agree that
running.
I feel like a bunch of people agree that it could be fun. It's just that we can't really like figure out a proper format to do it.
Nightbot's in chat, but isn't a mod. That's amazing.
Wait,
did you
really
say
funny.
IL tournaments or IRL?
IL.
Oh!
Not IRL.
Individual
Oh.
level.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
like making sets out of it, and then just like having
Making
the
sex out of it?
sets. Oh my god!
What the hell? Oh my god, Brady.
So, with all the reference to GDQ, I think it's good to point out that speaking of the main events, submissions open real soon. So I don't know how long we want this show to be, but we could talk about if we maybe have time to talk about, because I think a few of us plan to submit to the event.
Yeah, before we get to GDQ, the one thing I want to talk about, the IL tournament thing, is you guys talking about and the Celeste fans was like some of the most pepper discussion I ever read in my life. Holy fucking shit.
Dude, don't worry
Like some
about
people saying like it would favor 100% runners. It's like the
Okay,
actual.
no, that was sparked,
Yeah,
that
no
was
shit.
sparked from me. That was someone else, but it was me that sparked that response because like someone brought up the idea of like having RBILs, which is probably completely fair. But I was just like, no, I hate that, so we should just not do it.
And then I think like Tess said like, oh yeah, I guess the idea favors Celeste runners, so like we should probably not do it.
Agreed.
Favors Celestial. Yeah, you should do something that favors me overall, y'all.
Alright, anyway, GQ.
Do we want to talk about Frost Fatales?
I mean, we kind of did. a little
Lori,
bit.
how'd your
Let me
runs
talk-
go?
Do you have anything
My
to tell us
runs were
about?
Gamer and Epic, and I'm happy about them because they were pretty well received from what I can tell. Like, people in chat really liked my runs, and I got a lot of talk about them. So it makes me optimistic for, main event submissions, because I'm planning to do that.
What did you run, Momodora?
I ran Momodora, Undertale, Octopath Traveler, Kirby Star Allies, and Hyper Light Drifter.
Holy shit, 5 games.
That's more than Oddbot, isn't it?
Ballin'.
Yeah,
And,
it's one more.
until just now, I thought you had 2 runs. I didn't realize you had 5.
Yeah, I thought so
remember
too.
when the
I knew
schedule
about
came out-
Octopath and I knew about Hyper Light Drifter.
when the schedule came out, I got a lot of messages that were like that. It was like, congrats on getting games in. People were like, Lori got 4 games in. It was really funny.
How was it was a Kirby relay, right?
No, it was a Kirby block.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't a relay. There's a Kirby relay actually coming up in 2 weeks on
Are you gonna be
Saturday
part
the
of that?
14th. I'm going to be a part of that. I'm running Kirby Squeak Squad 100%.
Oh, right, okay. That was the thing we were talking about.
Have you been at the GDQ before as well, Laurie?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done, not even including the 2 Frame Fatales events I've done, because I haven't gone to the in-person one, although there were in-person runs at this past Frost Fatales, but I went to SGDQ 2019.
Okay. How different are like the logistics between a Frame Fatale and the GDQ events? Like,
Well, again,
do they
I
have
didn't-
like the same rooms and stuff and practice rooms?
Well, I didn't go in person to the GDQ studio for my Frost Fatales runs, so I did them online because they're online.
Oh,
right
okay,
now.
okay.
Yeah, it was like mainly online from what I could tell.
Yeah, again,
Oh, I
they
see.
have like a studio somewhere in the East Coast, and like that studio, there were many people that traveled there to do their runs there because they could, and
Mhm.
also like help out with the stream and stuff. But it was also perfectly acceptable to, do it from home, and that's what I did because I kind of am still in school.
Stay in
It's
school,
kinda
kids.
cool.
Excuses.
It's cool that everybody can like participate in their own way.
Mm-hmm.
I remember
Yeah.
I was.
Go ahead.
I'll go then. I remember
Go.
I was still in high school when I got my first marathon run in the GDQ, and it was so dumb because
Yeah.
like I would just be approached about it from people that I would never expect to be approached about it, and I was like, "Can I please just graduate? I want out of here."
Like people at your high school.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, I had a few people at my high school that came up to me when the school year started and saying like, "Wait, you were on the couch at you?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Wait, what run did you couch for again?
Kirby Nightmare, Dreamland, and DuckTales 2.
Ooh, good.
Although
game.
no one watched DuckTales because it was like 4:30.
I feel like it'd be they'd have to be paying way closer attention to like remember saw on a couch.
Well, I mean, it's
Yeah.
a face they know, so like
Yeah.
the people that approached me were people I knew, so they like
Yesterday I saw a guy with an AGDQ 2020 shirt, and I asked him if he went. He didn't, but he had the shirt. But anyway,
I just want to
we
say,
started talking about. Go ahead.
I just want to say that you guys are like the virgin GDQ runners while I'm like the Chad GDQ high schooler because people at my high school literally call me M Sushi.
fuck up.
Okay.
Wait, really?
So I mean, like a lot of my friends that know I stream, like yeah, I mean they don't like primarily call me M Sushi, but people will be like, "Yo, it's M Sushi," and I'll be like, "What's up, bro?"
That's funny.
Yeah. One of my best
Even
friends
the
actually
teachers call
exclusively
you
calls
sushi.
me sushi.
Dude, I get so mad when people that know me primarily from my actual name call me my username. For some reason, it's just a big pet peeve for me when people will call me Flarebear and they know me as Brady first. But it's happened on many occasions.
I just generally prefer, like if I know someone's real name, I feel not using it. So like, you know, I just call people by their name if I
It
can.
depends from person to person. You just kind of have to know.
Shout out to Bilal and Scott.
Said bye-bye
Bye
and-
bye in Evan's fight.
Yeah. Okay then, Brady.
Thank you.
Okay, so SGDQ, who's submitting runs? What kind of runs are we submitting?
I have one run I'm submitting that I care about, and it's not even because I care about the run.
It's because
I'm-
it's Psychonauts.
I'm submitting a Psychonauts any percent race with YP.
Let's
And,
go.
That game stinks, but it would be a priceless occasion for me and him to be on GDQ stage playing a video game at the same time.
It
So
would be too much power, honestly.
yeah, they might have to like kick us off just from we're like spiking the viewers too high.
Yeah, so we're actually getting
I
too
believe
much
it.
money right now, so you guys are gonna have to get off.
Oh man, the next GDQ meme is gonna be, "Man, I am so smart."
It is, dude. People are gonna be freaking yelling Psychonauts quotes in the crowd. That's gonna be the next meme that people get tired of instead of Orb. It's gonna be, "Man, I'm so smart." Soft jaw in his underbelly. Here I come.
Oh boy. So
Boy.
Sushi, are you planning on submitting anything?
So I guess my main submission is gonna be Celeste 100%, which I'm hopefully gonna like. I need to finish learning like, and by learning I mean getting decent at like 7B and 8B, and then I'm gonna do runs again, hopefully for the Oddbop, the sub 150. But haha. There's also like
Funny
a
laugh.
100% relay going around, which I'm also gonna be part of the
Oh yeah,
submission
that's
for.
been being planned lately by Lev. It
Yeah.
could happen.
But I'm also, so for Portal I don't know if I'm gonna submit stuff because obviously like I have an ego, and saying that I just won a trophy that says Portal 1 on it in my room, I think I have a right to have somewhat of an ego, but maybe I have more of an ego than I should have. But I want to submit all main categories for Portal, which is back to back all four leaderboard categories. But I know like literally the people who have the world records in the other categories want to submit like only one or only two of like the other categories. So like I need to talk with people and see how that's gonna work. For Portal 2, I was gonna submit a bunch of stuff with Can't Even. We were gonna submit co-op, and we're also gonna try to find some other people to submit co-op 4 players, 2 controllers, which would be really epic.
That
But
sounds like content.
yeah, we'll see. But I have a lot of runs that like I don't know, kind of a coin flip. I can very much see myself not getting any runs in, and at the same time, I could get 2 runs in from 2 different games. So
Yeah, like it's crazy how Celeste has come so far. Like everyone's waiting for the time where they don't make, and then it just keeps getting saved somehow every time. Dude, I carried this game's back to AGDQ
the
20
farewell, yeah.
at the last minute. No one saw it coming, not even me. But like even for this next upcoming marathon, like I feel like people could predict that this would be the first time that it doesn't show up again. But we actually still have a lot of really good stuff coming up.
We need Hundo.
Yeah, we need Hundo because Hundo is like main leaderboard category that's never been in before. And I also think that Lockout 1v1 is worth submitting. I submitted last time and it didn't get in, but I think it's a really good submission. And also GDQ has kind of had like a bingo hard on lately. So I hope that they could put more of it in because there were 2 GDQs where they put 1v1 bingos back to back and they were both pretty decent.
Oh yeah, wasn't I talking with aren't me and Jack supposed to try to submit
I was urging
Are
you
you
guys
gonna-
to submit because I
Do
would
you
have
wanna
submitted
submit it?
myself, but like you guys are way better at bingo than I
That's
am.
true. I'll have to talk to Jax. I'll send him a DM right now. Wait, he's in chat. Yes.
He's in chat.
Oh my gosh.
Lepoger.
4th versus 5th place.
Yeah, and,
Bingo
and
belt.
I can commentate if you do an exhibition because I'll be going and I know that I can.
Yo, you should get a chocolate orange on the mic.
I mean, yeah, we could do that duocom right now while I'm here.
Hell yeah.
Well, you know, like this weekend. I mean,
Content clash.
We still got like 2 weeks. When the 14th, we literally have 2 weeks. We're fine.
yeah, that's true, Reed. Like it is a main category that hasn't been in, but at the end, the end of the day, that category is just like a combination of 2 categories that have already been showcased, pretty much. I guess not Moonberry. Dude, Moonberry, that's the one berry that hasn't been in.
Dude, you know what?
Oh,
Like,
shit.
just shut up because Super Mario World has been like dissected. The source code has been shown on GDQ. That's definitely
They
gonna
have
get in.
so many ROM hacks of the old Mario games.
I just want to thank
Yeah.
Bye-Bye for following the channel. Sorry,
I
continue.
don't.
The really sad thing about me not showing Moonberry off at my run is that if I didn't suck so much, I could have gotten Moonberry and still beat the time that I got at the marathon. It's like not even that hard. It's really sad. I should have made that an incentive, but I never thought about it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Could have been decent. But I suck at the last screen, so.
Oh yeah, Jax is gonna be at a live event next weekend. I believe it's called Midwinter Speed Sprinter. Can you confirm that, Jax?
Yeah.
Any
No,
Jax?
shout out, I'm following.
I don't know.
I
if
shouted
Jack's
you
a
out
better-
earlier, Scott.
It's the one that Sextrax is part of the like administration for.
Still,
Shout to Sextrax.
Pringles Daddy. Or
Jax,
Pringle
what's the
Daddy.
date of your run? Just so I can watch. Like the specific time frame.
Bro, it's next weekend.
Yeah, but what day?
You have 2 days, just roll the dice.
Well,
Wait, no,
Okay.
flip a coin.
anything else we
I
want to
have
talk
it
about
declined.
as the
Check out
con-
the run.
does the episode drips down? Drizzles?
Hold
What-
up.
What
It-
are you
it li-
trying to say right now?
We're
I-
obviously out of things to talk.
I'm
Well-
thinking of like a big stream like going into a small area. Like, you know, like it's whittling it.
It gets owned. Okay. We got owned.
I'm gonna quote Trujan and say, "What are you even talking about?"
I'm
Yo,
gonna
I'm,
quote-
I've had it to here with you, okay? Fuck you, dude.
I'm gonna quote Trujan and say, "What do you mean?"
What do you mean?
Bingo on this channel in 30. Dude, we can talk for 30
Do
more
we have
minutes.
to talk for 30
So what about
minutes?
the IL tournament, guys?
I am not talking for 30 more minutes.
Is anyone else planning to submit to
I
SG?
will
Laura, are
literally.
you submitting anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna submit Pony Island, Bit Evolution, Kirby Star Allies, and my.
What was that? Could you like
Lucky Ball
separate
Fusion.
those games from each other?
No.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
like, not to throw shade, but, like, I'm thankful for the games I run because, Lori, while I hope one of your games gets in, if not multiple,
They
like,
won't.
those games are gonna have ass time slots.
Star Allies, is like a chance of not having an ass time slot. I think.
Not having an ass. Just
I'm
end
fine
it
with
there.
that. Again, I commentated a run at 4:30 a.m. last SGDQ. I'm fine with my time slot.
4:30 is like normal.
I was kind of shook that Celeste got like 9 a.m. That was kind of whack.
Yeah.
You expected later.
Yeah.
If TGH was running it, 8 p.m.
When's
No
I'm kidding,
way.
I'm kidding, I'm
No
kidding,
way.
I'm kidding,
I'm a big deal.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I opened the marathon, all right. They know
That's
they know
true.
that I deserve good time slot.
Dude, you should have been the finale.
They
What
just
if
wanted-
GDQ
Oh,
opened and
imagine.
closed with
Opening-
Flare Bear?
And it's farewell. It makes sense.
Yeah, that's gonna be the closer of the last GDQ event ever. It's gonna be me.
202.
Oh no.
I pray not. Dude, imagine the last GDQ run ever performed and have to mercy kill it. That's what would happen.
I mean, if it's the last run, does it matter?
I mean, it
What?
kinda does.
Yo. But did you guys see that sick Super Mario Maker 2 task?
I
Yeah.
think that's the perfect note to end this episode on.
Wait, actually, do you guys want to talk about the IL tournament?
No,
So what about that IL tournament, guys?
So that IL
I'm
tournament.
leaving. Goodbye, everybody.
Wait, she
What?
actually just left.
Did she actually just leave?
Lori, you can't do that. That messes up the display on screen.
You're not allowed to do that. Oh my God.
Okay, well then I'm not gonna do it again.
Honestly, I don't think that full clear IL should be included because it gives the ARB runners too big of an advantage.
I think
Wow.
I
Farewell
don't think-
Golden should be in there.
Golden should be in there. That's
Yeah.
fair. Reed, I'm not gonna submit Bingo versus Sushi because Jax is way better. I honestly, it's not even like I honestly just think that I wouldn't be able to give a very proper presentation of what good bingo play looks like, just because it's like something you have to put more thought into. No, Marlon, it's not broken. We're in the same room, so we have the same mic,
Hello.
so it can't be separated.
We are actually one person.
But I will gladly commentate for that submission. I think it's good. I honestly think that Celeste 1v1 walkout will make it eventually. We just have to keep trying.
I think we should remove any percent ILs because they give any percent runners too much of an advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jax, I'm better at games the less brain power I use on them. So I can't play bingo. I'm sorry.
I just want to read the chat right now. This person named TrueGent_ says, "You guys are so dumb." I just want that on the record.
And with that being said, thanks everybody for watching this week.
Make sure to go check out our YouTube channel over Experts Point YouTube in the chat. You can subscribe over there. We're going to have our past 3 episodes on there. If you're ever in the need of some content, make sure to check out the corner. You can also follow us on Twitter where we, and by we I mean me, forget to tweet out that we're live until 10 minutes after we're live. Thank you so much everyone for coming by and watching, and make sure if you want, everyone's Twitches is on screen, from M Sushi to Flarebear to Chocolate Orange to Lori to Back to Oddbod. We're all very cool streamers. And I'm not biased at all in saying that, and we're definitely all streamers.
Have you guys been keeping up
Debatable.
with that SMO drama?
And on that note, I mean,
No, join us there for some blackout bingo.
yeah, I mean, do I even host someone, or do we like